Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners.
Hello and welcome to episode number 17 of the Third Leg Podcast. With me, as always, is my co-host, Dr. Dunny. How you doing? How you been, buddy?
Pretty good. It's been a minute, but some sickness and a big old holiday in between will do that to you. So thanks for being patient with me while I was battling what I was battling, but the voice is back and I'm ready to talk.
Hell yeah. I'm just happy you're healthy and back. And you got to do your thing on 4th of July, fully recovered. We're back in business. How was your 4th of July?
Pretty damn good, I'm not gonna lie. For the last few years now, we've gone up to a buddy's cabin. He was also married on July 2nd, and him and his wife have always been like lifelong friends of mine. So it turns into all the guys going up, spending times at the cottage, getting on the water, having a few too many brewskis, stay in the sun without suntan lotion a little too long, driving the pontoon, the ski boat. They got it out for the first time in 15 years this weekend.
Sheesh.
Yeah, his dad's like, I bet you I get it running in 15 minutes. He disappears. 20 minutes later, boom, that thing's out and running. I was like, good night. But
So
it was a fun time.
Let me drive the boat.
Right. And luckily it's a place that's less than 2 hours away. So getting home after, it wasn't, we weren't like dead tired driving home. But it was a good long weekend. We went up Friday night, came home Monday, and then just chilled. What about you?
Oh yeah, buddy. I went to the east side of the state on the lake doing our thing, I might have got, a little too high. I think I ate about 8 times the caloric intake I usually do. Felt like shit a couple days later. We were there for like 2 or 3 days. By the end of it, I didn't know where I was. I thought it was fucking Memorial Day. I will tell you one thing. You will never see more mullets and straight mustaches than the 4th of July. It is
Dude,
like
it
an
comes out.
annual bro code that at least one of your friends in the group, at least one, has to have a mustache and or a mullet.
Absolutely. Luckily, my friend group doesn't really do that. At least the friends that were at the cottage this past weekend. But yes, in like the older guys that you and I both hang out with, that is a thing for sure. And then a lot of people also have that one guy in their friend that they can always count on.
Yeah, you just see like 30 boats and you see at least 20 mullets. It's
Yep.
back, baby. The mullet mustache combo.
With the backwards hat, the big old sunglasses, and a case of beer.
Yes, sir. Budweiser. I seen so much fucking Budweiser and mullets. It was unreal.
Yep, and it's a great holiday. Great holiday.
Top three for sure. Lock it in. It's like
You think so?
everyone is so happy. Like literally everyone is so happy on the 4th of July. Nobody gives a fuck. 98% of people are just trying to get drunk, listen to some Kid Rock or some bullshit, and just have a good time. It's got to be top 3 just for the vibes.
Well, if you think it's top 3, what are your top 3 holidays then?
Thanksgiving for the food and the family.
Okay.
Christmas because everyone loves fucking gifts.
Yep.
And then 4th of July. 4th of July could even sneak into the second. It's that good because it's the summer vibes.
Prior to the last few years, because that's when I started going to the cabin every year, 4th of July was just another day for me. Like, okay, I didn't really do much, just had the day off, watch some baseball. That was pretty much it. But it has, if I'm going to rank my 3, I would say it is in the top 3 now. I put it at 3. I'd put number 2 being Halloween. Personally, it's real close to my birthday. Football season's in action. Everyone gets dressed up. There's always the big Halloween party that you can look forward to.
Michigan State is always right around that. That's
Right.
damn good. Yeah, Halloween is a sneaky one.
And I love candy, Not a big fan of Thanksgiving food, so that's why it's not ranked for me. And then number 1 is Christmas. Everyone loves gifts.
For sure. Christmas is a lock.
For sure. I will say that honorable mention, if we had to put one, it's just any paid holiday.
Any paid holiday. Hopefully it falls during the week.
Right. I don't give a shit what day it is. If I get it off of work and it's paid, boom, it's my favorite day.
Yeah, throw it in the top 5. I feel you on that. Absolutely, dude. Well, we've missed a lot of content in the last week from our last episode. We had a lot of basketball trades. We had a lot of scandals in the NBA. A little scandalous in the NBA relating to the draft in the order in which top 3 were going to get drafted. Really just a second and third. Couple NBA rules they're trying out. We missed a lot. Let's start with the NBA draft.
All right. Number 1 overall, no one was surprised. Victor Wembanyama went to the Spurs. And I told you someone was going to bet 60 racks just to win $200, and someone did it. I don't know how you could do it.
It's free money.
True.
It really is free money. Like, there is no way they're not taking them.
Right.
It's basically free money.
I'm sure that's what the Chargers fans thought against Jacksonville in this past playoffs. But hey, who cares? We'll move on. The second pick is where the drama begins, right? So Brandon Miller was ultimately taken out of Alabama by the Hornets. But earlier the day, he was the favorite going into the day of the draft, I guess I should say. And Scoot Henderson was somewhere around like +2, +3, +400, somewhere in that area. And then someone tweets out that the Hornets and Scoot Henderson are gaining ground, that Scoot Henderson is now the favorite for the Hornets to be taken. And then what happens? Boom. Scoot Henderson is now the betting favorite on FanDuel. He was -160 at one point. He went from plus like 200, 300, 400 to -160 because of one dude's tweet. And Riley, tell me the drama behind that guy.
Shams or
yeah. Why is that so crazy that he was the one that tweeted it? And then
because he's sponsored by FanDuel.
Like, he's getting paid.
He works for him. Like, they cut him a check. That tweet was not random. That was guaranteed a system play by FanDuel and Sham. Sham's an absolute scam artist because that's fucked up, dude. That's so much money that was just stolen.
Right. And it went from Sham's tweet to then on Pat McAfee's podcast that's live, and coincidence, I don't know, Pat McAfee used to be partnered with FanDuel. He's also talking about how this guy's tweet, Scoot Henderson, is now, the odds-on favorite to be the number 2 overall pick. So people were seeing Scoot Henderson at +100, 120 before it went to the minus side, and we're like, oh, hell yeah, I'm getting this is free. This is free.
Yeah, the line shifted so much from one fucking tweet.
Right. And Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN's like NBA guru dude, who gets the first in on everything, literally laughed that Shams had even mentioned Scoot Henderson going number 2 because there was no way in hell that they were taking anyone other than Brandon Miller.
Yeah, because the last 2 months they knew who they were going to take. Like, the first 2 were locked. Like, they knew there was nothing coming from Charlotte saying they weren't taking Brandon Miller. That was literally just all fabricated. Complete fabrication for cash. And it worked. And then it was talked about for like 3 days, and then people forgot about it.
Right. I hope your punching the ticket to hell is worth it for the millions of dollars you made, I guess, Shams.
It's got to be something in the contract because there's no way he would just want to do that because he's already getting like a fat check. It's either like incentivized or it's like in the contract, like, hey, we tell you to tweet this, you got to tweet it.
Okay. If
I don't think he would.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you never know,
there's no gain from him.
Right.
FanDuel is the one raking in all the money.
And you got to know if it takes off, you're going to look like a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's got to be worth it's got to be worth enough money for you to say, I don't give a fuck.
Right. After your tweet, however many bets on Scoot Henderson we get at number 2 overall, you get X number of dollars. Like,
it's got to be something. It's got to be like just like a bonus thing. Like, we'll slide you this because we know it's risky as fuck. Type shit. Some shady shit, dude. It's already been weird since like Phoenix has partnered with FanDuel. There was a couple weird shady games where D-Book was like not trying to get rebounds at the end of the game and like just weird shit already going on. And we already had the referee shit. We already know that's real. Right. So then if we're going to add in outside sources that are just like manipulating the market. Like how long is this going to go on for, and how deep is this going to get? Because this is a guy with um he's extremely credible,
Right.
and he has
Typically.
a massive Twitter following. So like people are getting updates from him, especially at that time, because
Right.
he's the one with the intel. So it's just crazy that the main source main source of that was someone that is so reputable, and it wasn't like he seen something on Twitter and then like quoted it or like something like that. Like that
Right.
was
He
just
was
like
the original
complete
source.
fabrication. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is wild.
Yeah. I mean,
I need an
it's corrupt,
investigation.
right? Exactly. The 30 for 30 will come out when we're turned 70, and we'll sit back and go, I
Say it
fucking
was
knew it.
all a part of the plan. As soon as gambling went legal in state, sports went fucking rogue.
Yep. Yep. But after the drama, right? Scoot Henderson goes 3 to the Blazers. Then you have a pretty cool story at number 4 and number 5. First set of twins ever taken back-to-back picks in the first round, with Amen and Alsur Thompson going to the Rockets and then to the Pistons. Do you know much about these guys? Truthfully, I don't really know much about them. I think they played in the G League or something like that this past season. They didn't go to college.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch too much of them. I've seen their highlights since, and I've seen them playing in high school.
Okay.
They're absolute studs, and I think the story is fucking insane. Having brothers play in the league is crazy, like the Watt brothers and like stuff like that.
Right.
But having twins go back to back in the NBA draft is the craziest shit ever.
In the NBA lottery, like you
Yeah,
were,
in the
yeah,
lottery.
you were going high overall.
And it's not like a Peyton Manning type thing where you had like a legendary dad and you were
Right.
kind of like groomed for it. Like these were just kids out the mud, and they're back to back picks in the draft. I don't know. It's like one of the craziest stories ever.
For sure.
I don't
I
even think
don't.
it was talked about a lot, but I think like it was talked about so much people kind of just like, yeah, whatever. Like
Right.
it's happened before. It's like not insane.
I think, and I mean, the story obviously next draft will be about Bronny and where LeBron goes and how high he gets drafted. But this draft, I think does need to happen as far as like E60 or 30 for 30, something about the twins, because that's a sweet story. Like that's the dream. You have a
For sure.
brother, especially if you're twins, you have that even tighter bond. Let's go to the league together, and then you turn out. You don't go to college, you play in the G League, and then you both ball out enough to get taken 4th and 5th overall.
Just imagine being that good growing up, like middle school to high school, just like grinding with each other, and you're obviously on the same team
Right.
forever. And then you guys just like, dude, we're gonna go to the league, we're gonna go to the league, like yada yada yada. Fucking 7 years later, you're in the league back to back.
Right. Yep.
And it don't matter which one goes first, because you go 3 and 4, that
Right.
is money.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
After the Thompson twins, you have Anthony Black going to the Magic. Bilal, I can't really pronounce his last name. He's from France, going to the Wizards.
What are you gonna do?
Right. Jarris Walker to the Pacers, Taylor Hendricks to the Jazz, and Carson Wallace to the Thunder. That rounds out your lottery. Michigan boys were taken just outside of the lottery. You have Jet Howard went to the Magic, so the Magic are building, the
Michigan
Michigan
squad.
Wolverines team. Caleb Houston, the Wagner brothers, and Jet Howard. And then at 15, you have Kobe Buffkin going to the Hawks. So the Michigan boys represented top 20 picks, top 15 picks.
I was kind of surprised, to be honest.
Truthfully, yeah. I mean,
like, because I watched them.
Right.
And we didn't have a great season. So, I mean, that just goes to tell you being good individually does well in the NBA. You don't,
Yeah.
You got to be able to get a bucket. Doesn't mean you win games, but
for sure.
Go to the league.
It was definitely surprising looking at who was still on the board, I guess, because you still had the Dick kid from Kansas, who's a pretty good guard, And then you had Hawkins from UConn still on the board as well, who can fill it up. And you watched what he did in March Madness. It was interesting to see that Jet Howard went before both of them, and then I think Kobe went before one of them. But we'll see how it pans out, right? You never know.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the biggest steals in the draft was obviously Cam Whitmore to Houston.
Yeah. 6th ranked overall, I think, player is what they had pre-draft. He fell all the way into the 20s, I think, for Houston.
20 flat.
Yeah. So, I mean, good for the Rockets, right? They're a struggling franchise looking to get younger and get talent. They obviously got Amen at number 4, and then they got Cam Whitmore, who was supposed to be, potentially a Pistons pick at 5, went all the way down to 20. So good for them.
Yeah, I mean, that boardroom, that war room was ecstatic to see him keep dropping and dropping. There's like, no way he's going to still be there.
Right.
No way he's still going to be there. Holy fuck. He's at 20, slamming it.
For sure. Send it in now.
Yeah, send it, dude. Send it.
My favorite pick would have to be Jaime Jaquez Jr. from UCLA to Miami. I just think as well of a well-rounded dude as you can find on the basketball court from college. Handles the ball, shoots the ball, rebounds, plays good, decent defense, can pass, and he's going to Miami where he's going to kind of learn from Jimmy is what I would hope he would do, and just learn that work ethic, bring it every single day, and be one of those role players that when you catch the ball, you better knock down a damn shot.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a great pick for them in the long run, I would imagine. I was super surprised with the Lakers. They took a point guard out of Indiana.
Yeah.
I was just surprised they took a point guard, really. To surround your superstars with shooters is what I imagined them doing, and then they came out and picked a point guard. I was like, I mean, they got a different mindset going in. LeBron's not going to be the main ball carrier. Hopefully he can Jalen Hood can just get any minutes in the next 2 years, 1 year.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, I was super surprised. James Jock from UCLA went to Miami. I think that's a great pick because he's just such a hustle player. I think he'll be suited to play behind Jimmy Butler and be able to just get into practice and start grinding.
Right. And then the kid that Golden State picked from Santa Clara shoots like 45% from 3 this past season. Another, 1-2 guard that they can just plug into their system and go.
He better not be a fucking stud, dude.
Right?
He better not just be a stud.
Who knows? You never know.
They draft too well, man. I wouldn't put it past them.
They really do. Jordan Poole, who? We got this kid. We're good.
Jordan Poole to the Shadow Realm. Chris Paul, welcome back, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a perfect transition right there, right? Like NBA trades and free agency. Chris Paul, no longer on the Wizards.
Yeah. You were probably shook for 2 days, but then you go to a top 3 contending team and you might finally win a fucking ring.
Right. Do you think he comes off the bench?
Yeah.
In Golden State, yeah. I mean, I find it hard for him not to.
Even if it's the first 8 minutes.
Right.
And then he's in the game and you play it by ear.
Right.
But I think Kerr will limit his minutes as much as possible to make sure that he's there for the playoffs.
Definitely.
He's been getting hurt. He's getting old. You don't want to have him dribbling in circles trying to get Steph the ball. It's more of like Steph or whoever's getting a blow, he comes in and just is the floor manager, floor general, and doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
And they got him cheap as fuck.
Yep. And like, okay, if he is in a rotation where it's, Draymond, Looney, the 2 guards, Curry and Clay, and then CP3, and CP3 just gets to sit and watch Clay and Steph run around continuous screens to see who gets open first, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And Kerr loves to play around with rotations throughout the year, so you're going to see him in a bunch of different rotations and just see how the meshing works. I mean, that's all it comes down to. And for playoff contending teams or championship contending teams like that, that's basically what the regular season is for.
Right.
To find your mesh, to find your squad, rotation minutes, the whole equation for the playoffs. So Steve Kerr's a wizard, and it'll be exciting to see what he does with Chris Paul.
Definitely. Draymond Green, I think last we talked, he had opted out, or they decided they weren't going to sign him. He ends up re-signing back with Golden State after the Jordan Poole trade. So, it was a rift between the team. Definitely.
It was definitely a rift between the team. He wasn't re-signing until Poole was gone.
Yep.
It sounds like, and then as soon as he's gone, he's like, all right, let's work this out. We're gonna get CP3. We're gonna run it back. All right, we're good.
We're good to go.
We're good. Everything's good. It'll be fun to see Draymond and CP3 play though, because they're both dickheads.
And people
they're
love
both
to hate
just
them, right?
Dickheads, dude. Yep. So yeah, that'll be fun to watch. I would like to see one of them get punched in the face too. Keep the tradition alive.
Keep the tradition alive. Some more big trades. You got Kristaps Porzingis going from the Washington Wizards, getting traded to Boston. I think this was a multi-team deal because Marcus Smart gets shipped to Memphis in this trade. I'm pretty sure. Pretty big. Kristaps is going to go join Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown signed again. So, they'll have at least 3 guys who can score the ball in bunches.
Yep, and they can leave Al Horford's sorry ass on the bench for a few more minutes and keep Porzingis out there.
Right.
It's an upgrade. You could tell, without Robert Williams, he was hurt. Al Horford could not carry that team as a center.
No, 100%.
Porzingis is a big enough guy to be able to hold it down compared to just Al Horford and a 6 to 8 minute Robert Williams.
Right. 7'1", I think. I mean, when he played for the Knicks, he was the Porzingis, right? The man was dominant. Struggled in Dallas, and then
he was getting buckets in Washington
for sure. Last year, he was playing like the New York Knicks Porzingis. So I would love to see that for Boston because
they don't even need him to play that well.
Right. Just give me 18 and 10 a night, and that's a huge upgrade at the center position for them.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. I think I'll say one thing. I don't think Marcus Smart in Memphis is going to help Memphis at all. I think Boston upgraded, Memphis downgraded. Maybe not downgraded, but I don't think it does anything for him. I don't think he brings over that leadership role that they need.
Right.
And I don't think he's the guy. He did do well in the playoffs this year, but I don't think he's the guy that you want with the ball in his hands for, a quarter of the game.
Definitely. I agree wholeheartedly. I don't know why Memphis was very excited to get Marcus Smart, because truthfully, what did he do? Right, he was a point guard on a team that almost made it to the finals, did make it to the finals, but struggled. When he played good, they lost still. So he brings grit that you didn't have, and maybe potentially he is that leader in the locker room. I was happy to see that they went out and signed D Rose though, so that will be someone that's going to be in their locker room, able to talk to people, I would assume. So bringing in 2 guards maybe gets Ja under wraps after his 20-game suspension, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it at the end of the day, I guess, because there's a 20-game suspension, so someone needs to be the fucking point guard.
Right, exactly.
So we'll go get Marcus for these 20 games, give him a chance to be able to, run the show. And if he does well, we'll figure out a way to keep him somewhat in the lineup or, not have a big minute restriction and have Ja come back and they'll be rolling and, hopefully be above 500.
Right. When Ja's ready to take over.
And then the D Rose thing, that's more of a locker room type thing. That's a 7 minute a game, over the season type player, but It's more of a locker room, and Smart was a guy for the right now.
For sure. I wholeheartedly agree there. Another thing, Boston lost Grant Williams. So that was their 3-and-D guy that they used. He isn't the tallest, but they sometime had him guard the big guys down low. They won't have that anymore. He signed with Dallas. So Dallas gets a guy to put around Kyrie and Luka.
Hey, after that playoff series Boston had, they were like, "Get the fuck out of here, bud.
Right. Like,
Get the fuck out of here."
after you talk shit to Jimmy Butler and then we lost, it's
Yeah, get
you're gone.
out of
You're
here. I know we almost had the reverse sweep, but
gone.
you're out of here.
For sure. Big news out of Portland. Dame officially wants out. What do you think?
Well, I think good for Dame. I wanted him to get out for years. He hasn't had a good enough team to even win a playoff series. So they haven't surrounded him with the talent he needed to do anything, and he's been there for 11 fucking years.
Right.
We don't question. I know like Dame is like the loyalty guy, but regardless, like it doesn't matter after 11 years if you have loyalty or not. Like you need to go try to win a chip, and he's still playing at a super high level. Like Dame on any other team is gonna make them so much better. Like regardless of what the team has to give up, that whoever Dame goes to will be a better team next year. But I think the Portland Trailblazers are some bitches for not just working with him a little more. It seems like there's kind of like some push pull. They're trying to get as much as fucking possible for him.
Right.
And he just wants to get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's come out that like Dame obviously wants to go to Miami. He wants to team up with Jimmy Butler and Bam, Eric Spoelstra. But Portland says we don't give a shit. We're gonna send you to whoever gives us the most package. Which apparently there's been 3 or so teams that have reached out. It's been Miami, LA Clippers, and Philadelphia 76ers for potential trade. But you know Dame, he only wants to go to Miami. In fact, him and his agent have kind of told the other teams, like, if you trade for us, we're not going to show up to training camp. So, like, what do you do?
Yeah, like his agent told him like if you make a deal behind our backs and Dame has to go to your team, he will not be happy and we'll make it apparent. Like we'll make sure that he's just a sad puppy dog all the time.
Right.
And you're gonna pay this guy multi-million-dollars, mega millions, and he's just gonna be like a piss pants. Like he don't want to be there. He doesn't give a fuck if they win or not. He's just gonna treat it as a paycheck. And he's gonna get his numbers and wait for that next contract.
Just insane.
So it sucks for him, but at the end of the day, if the deal gets done and he gets to go to Miami, it'll be great for him.
Right.
He'll get a chance to win, and he won't ever be able to look back on his career and say, why, like, no what ifs. Like, you got to leave the city, and you got to go try. You know?
I agree.
So, if Portland just needs to stop being bitches and just let them get the fuck out of there. Start the rebuild. You guys already know you're fucked. You guys are going to have nobody in the stands next year. Like, it's going to be a tough 3-4 years for Portland.
Absolutely. I did find it interesting that the 76ers are one of the teams that are rumored, right? I just said that.
Oh.
But they're not willing to talk Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, he's off limits, dude.
They said even
they
if it was
see
Giannis,
too much in him.
They said even if it was the Bucks saying Giannis for Tyrese Maxey, they would hang up the phone.
I think that's cap. I call bullshit.
Right.
That is bullshit.
Right, like
you would give up 3 Tyrese Maxeys for Giannis. But yeah, I respect that. I think they're just at the point where they already know they're not going to let him go, so they're kind of just doubling down and like giving him the confidence. Like, yeah, you're good. You're off limits, but you're kind of capping.
Right. Like, I'm sorry. If it's Giannis, you're trading anyone for Giannis if you're the 76ers.
Yeah, I would trade Tyrese Maxey for like half of Giannis.
The 76ers will probably be shopping James Harden. They came to terms with a deal for an absurd amount of money, and both sides have said they're actively working together to try and find a trade for James Harden. From what I've heard so far, Knicks and Clippers are really the only 2 teams. So Clippers are going after both Harden and Dame. Which one will land, who knows? Or
they're
if any of
fucking
them
poverty, bro.
Right, they're just struggling.
The Clips are poverty, absolute poverty.
Sad.
And they got some cash. They just fleeced fucking Russell Westbrook. He's only getting paid like $8 million a year.
Yeah, that's true.
He's getting paid like $8 million a year, and he's got the most triple doubles in history.
Hey, I guess you're willing to take a pay cut to stay for what you consider a pretty good team when healthy.
Yeah, never.
When healthy, keyword.
When healthy, they weren't healthy for more than like 4 games last year.
Right.
And they were in the preseason. Did you see the new rule they're implementing for the NBA?
No, I know it has something to do with flopping, but I haven't really looked into it or heard much about it. What do you got?
So it is a new anti-flopping rule, basically, and each flop that's determined by the refs on the court, 1 free throw will be awarded to the opposing team. The flopper will get a technical foul, but that technical foul doesn't count to the actual total foul count.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird, but if you imagine someone flopping twice in one game, you only get 2 free throws instead of 2 fouls. 2 fouls would be kind of fucked.
Right.
For the flop. Like you are already going to get a foul because it'll be a block or a charge.
Right.
So you're already going to get a foul. They're not going to double you down and give you a technical foul on top of your foul, basically. And then, so it's different from the 2012 flop rule because it was only warnings and fines after the game.
Okay.
So now they're implementing something where it affects the game live.
I'm trying to deter it live in game rather than just worrying about, oh shit, that's 20 grand.
Yeah, because people don't give a fuck about the 20 grand. But if it's in game, you have to consider not flopping because you're going to get your ass pulled out of the game.
Right. And I mean, okay, so truthfully, like flopping, yes, it used to be a huge issue, especially back in like the 2012 when they started that whole rule thing.
For sure.
But I watched a lot of NBA this season, and as far as like blatant flops where you're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Not a ton. Like, was
just
there
like
contact?
A fucking flail?
Right. Like the guy's backing down, and the dude just barely gets bumped and just, almost fell out of my chair.
The elbow across the face,
right.
And it doesn't even touch them.
Yeah.
It goes like right past their nose, and then a second later, they're like,
yep.
Like, dude, that's the fakest head smack I've ever seen. Like, give me my fucking point. Let me shoot my free throw.
Right. So hopefully it'll deter that. But truthfully, as far as prevalence-wise, I haven't seen much of it in the NBA.
No, that's just like the 2012 one. It didn't get used a lot.
Right.
Like, not many people got fined or anything for flopping. Like, the initial rule was attempt to fool refs into calling foul or fool fans into thinking refs made a bad call.
So we don't want to rile up the fans.
That was the definition back in 2012 of what a flop was.
Good night.
And people do that. Every call or every bad call, people are like, "What?" looking at the fans and pointing. Like, if that's an actual rule, they didn't give a fuck about it because that's been happening every bad call since fucking ever.
And it'll never stop. Never stop.
Fuck no. It's a part of the entertainment. At this point, it adds entertainment value.
For sure.
You can't be too strict on the court. People got to be losing their mind, and people that hate them will laugh at them. It's just too much entertainment value.
That is for sure.
Yeah, so they'll vote on that at the end of this month. We'll see how that goes. Maybe they'll be kind of heavy on it.
Are they using it right now in the summer league games?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be going for the next 2-3 weeks, and then they'll have the ruling on it at the end of the month.
Okay.
The NBA Board of Governors. Okay. Whoever the fuck those people are.
The higher ups that no one ever sees.
That's
right?
the NBA Illuminati, bro. I didn't even know there was an NBA Board of Governors.
Truthfully, I didn't know either.
Off the top of your head, top 3 floppers this might affect.
Top right now in the game?
Like, who next year, if this rule goes through, is going to be allowing a few points a game or a point here or there?
Oh, Draymond, number 1.
If you name my top 3, I'll give you $5.
James Harden and Chris Paul are the 3 that I think flop. The last 2 flop with the ball. I feel like they do the old get your hand to go through my hands and rip.
Yeah,
game.
that's that James Harden shit. I think he's the godfather of that.
He truthfully is. But yeah, I mean Draymond for sure on defense, and then after that, I don't know. What do you
Marcus
think?
Smart,
Okay,
he's like the number one guy. Like, there's a reason he's won a defensive player of the year, because he's a fucking dickhead and he gets
Right.
charges and weird fucking calls all the time.
right.
Marcus Smart, Draymond, Embiid, LeBron.
Okay.
Have you seen Embiid? Have you ever
Embiid
watched
does
him play?
flop.
Have you ever watched him, dude?
Yeah.
He acts like he's the size of Victor.
Yep. Skip and I tried to tune into every single 76ers game this past year.
Skip did, bro. I was with Skip when we watched them go down. Bad.
We have decided that the Sixers are no longer our team this year. It's going to be the Thunder. Him and I have decided.
Shit.
Yes.
Okay, I respect that.
So we will be tuning into a lot of Thunder games this season.
Skip's still going to be beating his meat to the Sixers, trust me. He might have lied, but he'll be in that thing.
Speaking of the summer league, though, it kind of reminded me that Victor's making his debut tonight.
Yes, sir.
There are 8 minutes left in the fourth. He's played 23 minutes. He's 1 of 9 from the field.
Oh my god.
0 of 4 from 3.
Oh.
5 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 fouls.
Oh my god.
The man does have 4 blocks.
Okay, but it's 1 for 9 from the field?
Yep.
Well, LeBron's going to have a nice offseason because they're going to be on his ass.
Right. Like, oh my God.
He's going to fly under the radar, bro. LeBron's straight this offseason. They got Victor to fucking tear up, dude.
Was it worth it?
That's fucked up. 1 for 9, dude. Unlucky. That is not the debut you would ever want.
True.
The second, Scoot, he left with a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
First game shoulder injury, out for the game.
And Brandon Miller is struggling. He's playing Victor tonight. He's 3 of 12 from the field.
13 fouls.
He only has 3 fouls tonight, but
Brandon Miller has more. He has more fouls right now than players have in an entire season.
I know, it's ridiculous. He had 7,
8 a game.
I guess in the summer league they don't foul out. They just say, "Yeah, you're good."
We'll add on the team total. It's like summer league refs and shit too. So they're just trying to like
give
play
people
ball.
reps, right?
Yeah. Well. That'll be crazy if the top 2 picks. It'll just be insane if Victor doesn't pan out to even be like
right.
a stud.
Yeah, I mean they were saying
for way too long.
Hakeem Olajuwon, and that would be underperforming for him.
People said I was seeing the wildest shit after he got drafted. Like, is Victor a top 20 player in the NBA already?
Right.
What?
Yeah, and then someone on ESPN, they had who are the 5 faces of the NBA right now, and Victor was number 3. I'm like, dude, he hasn't even played a damn minute, not even a second.
Dude, there's some wild media clickbait going on with Victor, and they're about to have a heyday tonight.
Maybe it'll spark some ESPN interest, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be some crazy articles. Everyone tomorrow will be talking about it.
Right. Maybe ESPN will make some more money, I guess.
They need it after all the fucking layoffs.
Yeah.
Do they even have any other workers left? Or are they all getting bought out by FanDuel?
Max Kellerman officially laid off. He was the big name, at least that I saw.
I want Iguodala.
He's moved around so much, from...
He should have got fired 5 years ago when he said that shit. He's lucky he had a job. I don't know how he got through that, dude.
He should have got walked off set that night.
Like, that's like undescribable. Like, you don't come back from that, and he did.
Random drug test. Oh, you have something. You're fired. See you, bye.
I couldn't imagine sitting across the desk from him the day after that.
Right.
Someone paid him. That was a dare. He lost his fantasy football league. He did something there.
We need to say something real stupid.
Yeah. Clay.
they're also rumored like Steve Young, guys with huge ESPN contracts potentially getting laid off. So Steve Young would be one of them that they were looking at. I know they just laid off one of the NBA guys. I can't remember who it was, but I think Doris Burke is taking his.
SVP.
Yeah.
Or no.
No.
Oh, yeah. No, not SV. What's his name?
It's Van Gundy.
Stan Van Gundy.
Yes, Stan Van Gundy.
SVG.
He got laid off, and Doris Burke's going to take his spot. So she'll be the first female doing the NBA Finals. So.
Oh my God, I will not watch next year.
But yeah, I mean, who knows? Stephen A. Smith said he could be next, so I wouldn't mind that.
Dude, I'll be watching on fucking ESPN Deportes before you know it. I'm not even bullshitting.
Get my bilingualness up. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll start taking classes today. Well.
Let's see here. While we're off, Ricky Fowler returns to the winner's circle. He won
good to see
the tournament down in Detroit, the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Attaboy. Back to the bricks, baby. Just had to get back to Detroit to get back on it.
For sure. He had to win it in a playoff with two other guys. I know Matsuyama was one of them, or Morikawa was one of them, and I can't remember the other guy. But yeah, he beat him in a playoff, so made the putt, and then the iconic picture of him just looking up into the clouds.
God.
Right, it's about time.
Yeah, dude. Good for him. Good to see him back. He does it in a great fashion, doing it in a playoff. Everyone loves those. It's great for the fans, great for the entertainment value
for sure.
of golf.
For sure,
playoffs fucking sick. Yeah, it's cool for him. It's good to see. Henry Hasselbeck commits to MSU.
Who?
Mike Jones. It's Matt Hasselbeck's son. He was previously committed for lacrosse for Maryland.
Okay.
And for some reason, MSU shot him an offer. So he said, I can't turn down Big Ten football. And now he's a part of the Spartans. He is with two red shirts, a redshirt freshman, Caton Hauser, and a redshirt junior who we've seen a little bit last year, Noah Kim. Okay. So their quarterback room is in shambles.
Wait, those are the only three quarterbacks on the roster right now?
Yes, sir. Peyton Thorne's gone, buddy.
I can't wait to do the Big Ten breakdown.
Yeah, so last year they were 9th in the Big Ten in total offense, and I don't think it's going to get any better.
How could it?
A miracle, man. Tuck's coming.
I mean, K9, that's the only thing that ever fucking did anything.
Don't say that, man. Tuck's coming.
So this is when he signed his contract. I have tweets of saying, I don't know why this man is getting this amount of money. He has done nothing. You paying him for one good year. I hope MSU fans aren't talking about his contract the way they're talking about Harbaugh's contract, because at the time MSU fans were just,
giving us
nothing but shit about how Harbaugh's the highest paid coach and we keep finishing third in the Big Ten, blah, 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 blah. Well, how the turntables.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, he did good enough against Harbaugh in his first 3 years where they're like, all right, fuck it. We're going to just send the whole house on him. We're just going to, this is the next decade. And the very next year, shitstorm.
Yep.
Absolute shitstorm. And then they had like the fucking fight at the big house and shit. Like MSU was just not looking good last year. And it doesn't look like they're going to get any better. They're signing lacrosse quarterbacks, bro.
Damn it. But hey, he comes from good lineage. His uncle and his dad both were NFL quarterbacks for a long time. So
yeah, that's what I do when I scout. I just base it off of genetics.
For sure.
Just send in your genetics testing, and we'll send over the scholarship.
Hopefully you can spin the rock a little bit.
Hopefully you don't only play lacrosse.
Football? What? Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I seen a couple of films of my dad throwing the pigskin around.
Looks pretty
Probably
simple.
Do it.
Yep. Oh,
All right, big dog. What else we got here?
I mean, I know we talked about the goat whale last episode, so I don't want to like dive deep into it. But
Yeah.
news has come out that Aaron Judge might need surgery.
Ooh,
Right? Like, woo! Apparently, he said that he doesn't make the decisions. He lets the doctors take care of all that. There's been doctors that talk about surgery, and there's doctors that talk about this and talk about that. And if it's surgery, he'll be out for a while, especially with it being the big toe. I just hope they keep pushing it. And then if they decide to shut him down, that freaking PrizePicks doesn't DNP him. They say, you know
we'll
what?
be good. We're already halfway through.
Okay. All right. Good.
We should be valid there. And I think, to be honest, I think they're going to do it as fast as possible if they're going to go the surgery route.
Right.
Because they just want him back as fast as possible. So I'll be surprised if they let it linger for another 2 weeks.
For sure. And then, like, right after we got off of the last episode, Bregman that night had a home run and like 2 or 3 RBIs in back-to-back nights. And Presley had saves in, I think, 3 or 4 straight days. So he's up to
no shit.
He's up to 19 saves. Bregman's like 50-something RBIs. J-Ram is at 50-something RBIs.
Dude, he's been banging.
I know. I'm like, let's...
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance. Let's go.
All the boys got to stay healthy.
That's for
sure.
sure.
We're looking good, dude. You fucking killed it so far. For the halfway grade, for giving you a halfway end of the first semester, you're killing it, buddy. That's an A+.
For sure. For sure. Just finish strong, boys. Finish strong.
Finish strong. Give us the dub, dude. What is it? 10x?
Yeah, it'll be 10x.
Yeah. Give us that 10x, baby.
For sure. That'd be nice going straight to the fucking NFL.
Yep. Just for another NFL season long.
For sure.
So the next few episodes, we're going to be rolling out some NFL and college prediction based on the conference.
Right.
So we'll do the NFC and its subdivisions, and then we'll go AFC, and then we'll probably start off with like the Big Ten or SEC or something big like that. But that's how that's going to be structured. We might group a few together and then just do a little longer podcast. But for the next 3-4 episodes, we will be fortune tellers, basically.
Yeah. Clip it.
We'll be trying to predict the future. So if you have a specific division or subdivision or whatever for college, shoot us a text, tweet, DM, whatever. Just shoot us a message and let us know what you'd like to see from us in the next upcoming episodes.
I think we plan on running one either Monday or Tuesday night, right? I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2-3 days to get our shit together, figure out a conference, and go from there.
Definitely. We'll also be breaking down, obviously, would we go into the divisions and that stuff. Michigan and Lions, that's our bread and butter, right? Like those are our teams. So we'll spend an episode on that. So yes, you don't have to tell us to break down Michigan or the Detroit Lions, but we will get there. It'll probably be the last episode we do right before football starts.
For sure. Yeah, we'll do like Michigan entirety, and then we'll run through the rest of the Big Ten, and same for the NFL.
Definitely.
With the Lions.
I think it's 7 and 9 weeks now.
Yes, sir.
Oh boy.
We're under 2 months, baby.
Can't wait.
Just a couple more Fridays, and we'll be waking up on that crisp Saturday morning, 9 a.m, watching College Game Day for 3 hours pre-gaming.
Cancel all the plans. I'm not doing
no plans. Shit. Shut your phone off. Never mind. Pull up DraftKings. For
sure. Shut my phone off. What?
Shut my phone off. I better have my laptop.
How's FanDuel supposed to survive?
Snitches, obviously.
Right, exactly.
Some scam artists.
For sure.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for episode 17. I'm sweating my ass off. Until episode 18, we will see you next time.
Real quick, though, I did want to say I'm going to the Tigers game tomorrow. I will post a parlay that I'm going to do. So if you're looking for it, it'll be early, probably game time's at 1. So by noon tomorrow, I'll have the parlay out that I'm going to run with while I'm at the game. So be looking.
Yeah, be looking, and I will screenshot it and put it on Twitter as well. I will start doing that. I was just thinking about that the other day. So we'll get it out on Twitter and in the Discord. So join the Discord, folks. We will see you next time. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Peace.
Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe